Like,
Got
you know
to
what I'm saying? You gotta keep it.
exactly.
So we back, y'all. I
And I'm
told
like, what?
y'all.
I'm like, what the world? I'm like, what? Somebody, I'm just clicking, I'm
We was
clicking.
having some technical
I'm like,
difficulties. It's okay.
I done clicked the wrong button. I'm like, stop clicking. Wait a minute. And my mama say, leave that alone. Just leave it alone. Don't even mess with it. Just leave it alone. What
We
the
are
world?
back. We are back and in full effect.
We
We were
are
having some
back.
technical difficulties, but it's okay.
Like, what am I doing?
Your fingers was just busy over
Like,
there.
just pushing buttons. Like, what?
That's
Leave
all
it
right.
alone. I'm like, geez. But tis the season. Tis the season.
Anyway, okay.
Anywho, compassion, no compassion. We were just all in the midst of just deep into the conversation. I'm like, what the Sam Hill?
Thanks for tuning in. It's Wind Down Wednesdays. This is Talk Radio, and hey, you liable to see anything. A pause, a skit,
Exactly.
somebody click in, somebody click out.
Hey,
We you laugh, you cry, all of that. We here, we got you.
we did say we were gonna make you laugh. We did say we were gonna keep you laughing.
For
So
sure.
we hope you be like, what the Sam Hill? What they do? And what they did
Right.
is what I did. My bad. My
Right.
bad.
Oh goodness. So
I
thank you for tuning in. It's Wind Down Wednesday. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. This is Tug Radio. So
You know this. And you know this, man. But
yes.
yeah, so we were talking about compassion and why people don't really have it, especially this time of year, because I think it's very important that people should be compassionate with others because you just don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what they're dealing with. It's just, how can you not have it though? I mean, how can you just not have compassion for anybody? Like we often say, if you passing somebody, hold the freaking door open. You know what I'm saying?
It's the
I mean,
small, just the little
yeah,
things.
it's the small things, it's the real small things. So what are you gonna do? How you gonna go about trying to make sure that stuff get done and completed? Because without compassion, because you gotta have it. You gotta have it. And to not have it, whew, I don't know
It's
what kind of
pretty
person you would be
it's
without
pretty
having
bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
it. I'm like, what kind of person would you be without having compassion? What kind? Just think about it. If I don't even know if I ever met anybody that didn't have compassion.
I can't say that I have not. I have. And it's sad because it makes you think about, it makes you wonder how they got to that place. Like
Right,
who or what situation broke them,
right.
or where they felt like, because a lot of times things happen where folks bring you out of your character, and sometimes it's hard to find your way back. I'm just gonna keep
Yes,
it 1,000.
yes.
When you broken out of your character, you done been through some pain and been through some things, and you try to like brush it off and not allow it to get to you where it's going to change your character. That's challenging.
It is.
And that's daily for all of us. So, um, that to me is how a person, you get to a place of not having compassion. It's just that you've
Right.
been hurt in that area, you've been
Yeah.
broken or torn in that area, and there's you haven't seek or even tried to get back to a place where you know it's back. Compassion is back. And so that's a sad place to be.
It really is. That's the unfortunate thing. But like you said, there are times where people do bring you out of character, and when they bring you out of that character, you lose that compassion that you have at the time for them. But then,
Whew,
and sometimes it's just, trust me, because
whew.
I know when somebody takes you way out of character, like way out to the other
and
side,
and it's so hard to pull it back. You know
you
what I
ain't thinking
mean?
about compassion.
No, not at all. You thinking about what I said earlier, chunking somebody up. You know what I'm saying? You could just imagine and see your hands around their throat.
Yes, yes,
It's
you know,
crazy.
or hitting them over the head with with a bat or something, But that's the unfortunate piece. That's when that compassion leaves, and then something else takes over and comes in. Because if you had compassion, true, real, wholehearted compassion, that probably would not have happened. You wouldn't have those thoughts. Yeah, you get upset, you get mad, but you wouldn't be to the not coming back side, because now you're
Yeah,
gonna hurt somebody.
point of no return. You can't get to
Exactly.
the point of no return, because that's dangerous.
Yes.
We all need to have a balance of it all. Some
Yeah.
have more than others because obviously, they say opposites attract. We're all different, and that's in all capacities in any relationship. And so, you have to have that balance. Like even in
Right.
brother and sister or sister and sister, like, one may be more compassionate than the other, one maybe are more giving than the other. It's just like a balancing act, basically.
Right. Right. And that's the thing, balance. You said the magic word is balance. You have to balance those feelings. You have to balance those concerns. You have to balance life itself is a balance. Because if it was everything is and not equal. Everything will never
No,
be equal. But you got to figure out how can you balance it, and what do you got to do to balance it. And it ain't easy. It ain't always easy to balance anything. It's not always easy. It's probably more difficult to balance it than anything.
well, and every day for all of us there's a balancing act. All of us are teetering on something. All of us are going through something. All of us are weathering something. Um, it may be a difficult storm. It may be a calmer storm, but it's a storm either
Yep.
way. You know. And so there's a balance that you have to have on. Am I gonna try to look at this positively, or am I gonna let it take me over,
Right.
and change who I am, and change my character, and change my belief, and change my thought, and I can go on and on.
Yeah. And it's like when we say balance in life, it's like you got to balance a relationship. It's and
You
that's
gotta
how,
balance. Hey, you gotta balance your checkbook because it is Christmas time, or you're gonna be broke.
or you gonna be broke. You better balance it. You better figure out what you got, what you ain't got, and what you gonna do and how you gonna go about doing it, because
Because ain't nobody gonna have a compassion for nobody broke. You know what I'm
baby,
saying?
no, they are not. You hear me? And it's like, and it's like me with the compassion thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like a pet peeve of mine, if you want to call it or say so or whatever. But to see people on the corners, standing there because they have a need for money for whatever reason, but then to see somebody standing on that corner and not have compassion for them because you know what they about to go do with their money, because you've seen them go spend that money um, in the store for alcohol, for beer, or they're going around the corner because they want to buy some drugs for somebody. So I
Yeah.
don't really have compassion for those that are standing on the corner begging for money on a consistent basis, because they're not trying to do what they need to be doing right with the money. What's going on,
Hey
Casey?
Tracy, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, look at the poo poo on the screen.
Oh,
Look
how
at
cute!
him.
Oh my goodness, adorable.
Little
Get a little
dog, baby.
sweatshirt on and
Look, got
everything.
on clothes and everything. He done took a bath and then went to the spa, got his nails done, all of that.
That's adorable.
Him's a cutie pie. Them became part of the family now. They became part of the family.
You know it. Another kid waiting for something for
Another kid.
Christmas.
She got compassion for the dog. She got compassion for the dog. Then put him on the bathrobe. And put him on the bathrobe and everything. He need to have some shades on now, make him cool.
Right.
Sit up. But yeah, it's just the to see them on the corner. Do I have compassion for some of them? I don't. It's just compassion is hard to give some people. What's up,
Hey,
Doreen? What's
Doreen.
going on? Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about compassion, and the difficulties is for some people not to have compassion. And if you don't have it, how can you get it? Was compassion a learned thing? Or is it something that you just automatically came up with that you think that you need to do and you need to have? Because everybody don't have compassion for other people. I just don't. Those people that I know, I'm telling you, those people that I know that stand on that corner begging for money, and I know what they're going to do with it, I don't have compassion for them. I can't give them my money.
It's challenging because even not just those things. Like you see them hop out of a van and split up, and you go this corner, you go that corner. At the end of the day, they getting together and counting their chips up, and they make more than me, you, and 4 other people put together, tax free. Like that's hard. Like
Right.
You
It's
know,
extremely hard.
you because you're lying, you know, and that's not fair. Like I can't have compassion because I know that what you're doing is not you're not doing it in truth. Like it's a misrepresentation of what you're doing for people who really are out there and they do have a need that that they want
Right.
met. And so it's challenging because then you pull back as a person. You don't have compassion for nobody then because you're like, well, all of them like that. You want to dump them all in one category, and which is not fair because us as people, we don't want to be dumped in one category. You know what I mean? Like me and you, just because our hair's short, we don't want to be dumped in, they can't grow their hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just, that's hard. That's challenging.
And it's hard right now to when you try to, tis the season. Tis the season. We need to try to help as many people as we can, if we can. And to not have compassion during this season is very, very, very hard for me to take in or soak in or accept that somebody just does not, absolutely, during this time of season, does not have compassion for anybody. It's like, even the people that I don't like or don't care for, because I don't hate nobody. There's nobody that I hate. Even for those people, I still got some compassion for them. Now, do I have a lot of compassion for them as I do somebody else? Nope, but I got a little bit. Got a little bit. Because everybody needs a little bit of compassion in their life for somebody else. Got to.
Yeah. And talking about the compassion piece and talking about helping somebody, it's just a fine line. I'm posing the question of now, like, how careful you have to be because we are in a giving time, a
Yep.
giving season. It should be year round, I feel like, but you have to be careful because a lot of times when you try to give, people are in a different place, they're in a different space, and so
Yep.
sometimes they are ungrateful. And like I said, when we had got cut out before, I'm posing the question on, you have to really be careful. It's not a way for you to really see, you know what I mean? Like if you see somebody need something and you try to meet their need and then they blow all up or they get upset. I had gifted someone before, and like I said, I knew it was something that they wanted because they talked about it. And so I was like, ooh, okay. And so I got it for him, and it just was like, it was a big old deal. It hurt my feelings. And I was just like, dang, like I know 100% that this is what you wanted.
Right.
And so, I had to have the conversation with them. It was super harsh for me, but how they reacted to the gift that I was trying to give them, they wanted it a certain way, or it didn't work out.
I mean, but you still
basically they said they preferred to have the money. Yeah.
But you still had compassion for them, even going through all of that, and even all of that hurt and pain. You still had somewhat of a small inkling of a compassion for them, because that's just how you are. That's how we are, and that's what we do. Regardless of what somebody do to us and how they treat us or mistreat us, we still got a small piece of compassion for them. I mean, it doesn't, you can't measure compassion, I guess, but we do have compassion.
That's true. You have to. I love it, Tracy. I'm right there with you.
You better say that.
I'm looking at them. I might even say something. Just depends on where we at. Like, put on your mask.
Put on your mask, because the thing about it, we all know that the COVID is still out here,
Cousin COVID ain't went nowhere.
It's always a variant here, a variant there, so the compassion. Now, I do have compassion for those that get sick from COVID, even knowing that they went against the COVID protocol, shots, no mask or whatever. I still have compassion for them because,
of course, nobody deserved their life to be on the line like that.
I mean, cut short, or to us it might be cut short, but God knows when you need to leave or supposed to leave when it's your time.
Right.
But it's just like you still have compassion for those people. Like I said, even those people that mistreat us and not treat us the way we should be treated or we think we should be treated, compassion. You still have some kind of compassion for them. At least I do. Like I said, I don't hate nobody. I dislike a lot of people though. Whoa, you better believe that. I dislike a whole lot of people. But I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. None. Can't have hatred in your heart and expect
Not,
and
not,
expect.
not if you want to get anywhere.
That's right. Not if you want to get it. So what you think about Meg Thee Stallion getting a degree?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of her. Um, she done came a long way, and she's done a lot outside of just what's in the in the booth in the studio. She's really trying to make people aware, especially the younger generation, about our cultures as Black people. So I'm excited for her.
Yeah, and I think she was very classy on how she did it. She came out and she told them, she explained to everybody why she was doing it, because her mom and her grandma, there was
Yep.
something she promised them that she would do. Even walking across the stage, when she got on the stage, she didn't break down and do no
No twerking, no her tongue out. Like it was, yeah.
She was very, very classy with it. She waved and thank people. So it's like I can appreciate that in someone like Meg Thee Stallion because because of the videos and because of what she wears, she was very, very classy about what she did when she got that diploma. So I'm very happy for her. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm excited. Black folks stand up, especially the younger generation, and it just shows. And we talk about action. Remember, we talk about action all the time, but it just shows not in just what she says. Like her actions show that okay, you can be, an artist. You can do all these variety of things, um, and still graduate. So that's what's up. You can do both. Don't put yourself in a box and don't allow other people to. And so yes, I love that. Go Meg, congratulations.
Exactly.
I love her.
And to see and to know that she didn't, from what we saw, from what the pieces that we see, she didn't let it get to her head. You know what I'm saying? She didn't let it overwhelm her or overtake her. She didn't get cocky about it. She just said, I'm doing this for my mom and my grandma, and because I promised them that. And it's a good thing for Black women, but especially the younger people, the younger girls, ladies, to see that you never stop at what you're trying to do and what you want to get out of life. Just don't quit, just don't give up. Don't let it go. Keep doing it, keep making it happen, because she's not really making it happen for her because it's already happening for her. She's already making the money. She's already got the fame. She did that for somebody else,
Well, I would say that she leveling up, you know what I mean? Because, and I feel like too, you always got to have a plan B, you know what I mean? Because if it happens so that, she don't make any more records at all, like she has her degree, and so she can take it, she has, she's wealthy, so she can take it, her platform, in a different direction. She has the finances to be able to do that, the education to be able to do that, the leadership to be able to do that. And so, that's what I feel like is that's what speaks volumes the most to me out of it, is that it's letting young people know that, you can multitask and you can have a plan B. Like that's okay. Like you should have a plan B. It's just like football players, they get out there, they love the sport, any sports star, they love the sport, but at any given moment, any play, you can get hurt. And so what do you have after that? So you have to in life, even as like me and you, entrepreneurs and things of that sort, like we have to have, as they say, residual streams of income. Absolutely. But you have to rely on the different gifts and talents that God put in you, and not just focus on one talent, because we all are multifaceted. We all are filled with several talents, and we should be using them for the benefit not just of us but of others. So it's dope.
It is. I'm excited for her. Tracy said her son is leaving next week and she needs lots of hugs. We love
we got you.
We got you.
We got you, Tracy. You covered. He covered. Y'all covered.
And that's that compassion we got for our friend right here on Talk Radio.
The
We got
radio, that's what's up.
a
Yes.
whole lot of compassion for you because we know how it is. When your kids kind of leave the nest, and go and float
Woo.
off, go somewhere else, and we know we know that feeling. We know
Yes.
it's very difficult to do, but as parents, how difficult was it for our parents to see us leave?
Let us go. Exactly. And that's what that's what we have to always bring our minds back to, especially, in anything when it comes to our kid, whether we're disciplining them, whether they're learning a harsh or hard lesson, whether it's an easy lesson, a small lesson, we have to kind of remember and go back to,
Yes.
okay, I was once this age, I was once 12, I was once 13, this is how I felt. Because a lot of times we address situations as parents in our adult mind, in our mind at our age that we are now, and the experiences we've had. We don't go back to thinking about at 14, I ain't had no
Right.
experiences for real, just with my friends.
Right.
And so your mindset is different. So
Yeah.
a lot of times we got to take that time and just like, let me pause, let me think, let me take my mind back. It's got to go back far, but let me take it back so I can remember, so I can try to relate, so I can try to understand,
Right.
your thought process and your thinking. So, and
Right.
it's a different generation. These kids, they do different, they think different, they talk different.
All
Lord
the
have
time.
mercy. They
Yeah.
text different. Everything's different. So it's an adjustment and it's a learning lesson on both ends.
Where is he going, Tracy? Because
Yes.
we believe in praying too. That's one thing that we must continue to do, along with compassion for other people. We got to pray too. You got to pray and make sure that you stay prayed up for one.
Yeah.
So yes, those babies, the babies, unfortunately, in this era are totally different from us.
Man.
Their thought processes are different. They, compassion. I don't even know. Some of them have compassion, but it's like you got to explain compassion to them, and it's like how and why. If you've been around it and if you've seen it all your life, it's like, how do I have to explain this to you and why? But our parents, when we left,
It's a lot more talking than I can say that our parents ever did to us. As far as, our parents will talk to us, but I mean, we have to do it so early and in such detail now because of the way the world and how things are. And so,
Right.
not saying our parents didn't talk to us in detail, but they didn't talk to us. They talked to us in the detail they had to at that time for what was happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the birds and the bees conversation, like it was light. You know what I mean? Like now you got to get heavy with the birds and the bees conversation. You can't be light. You got to go top to bottom, A to Z, girl, boy, boy, girl, boy that want to be a girl, girl that want to be a boy. You got to do all of those. You got to cover a multitude of things for them to be able to kind of understand.
And you got to have a whole lot of compassion
and patience,
baby. Exactly.
and trying to understand yourself, because even as a parent, we don't know I'm learning some stuff too.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my goodness, you talking about difficult and hard times and making adjustments. There are things that as parents that we got to do, and this people don't understand, and then to try to explain it to that generation or to this generation or to our kids now is so very hard. It's so very difficult. They get it, but it's like getting it and then following through and understanding it is like
it's 9 day. Literally, it literally is 9 day.
So we're gonna pray for him, Tracy. He's moving to Fort Wright and to be closer on his job. But he gonna be all right. He gonna
be covered. He is gonna be covered, and God's will is gonna always be done.
Yeah, always.
Yes. And it don't never go how we wanted to or look how we wanted to.
Exactly.
But it works out. It's gonna work out all right.
Yeah, girl, they do act like they lived here and have been here.
I know, we Stone Age, right? I be feeling some kind of way, like, wait a minute, hold on.
They had like that we ain't been through nothing. They had like we were never their age before, and well, heck, we had to.
I didn't come out of my mama this size. I'm just saying, that probably would kill her. But no.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you are so welcome. But
our pleasure, Queen.
we love kids. We love to
Oh
make sure we
yeah,
try to even influence them in a positive way, regardless. I don't think you could ever get too old to be talked to or influenced or even loved on by your parents. I don't think it ever get, if they're here, then, you make sure that you do that
for
and
sure.
give it back, just do it, because compassion, baby, right now, sweet baby Jesus. It is so difficult for some of us to have compassion for other people. And I don't get and understand why. I don't know. Maybe I just, to not have compassion. It's like, I could sit up here and watch a freaking movie. I got compassion just by watching the movie because they're hurt, and it's a freaking movie. They're feeling sad. Something happened to them, but it's a movie, and I got
Right.
so much compassion for that person that's going through the hurt. But it's so hard for other people to do that for some, and I just can't. I just can't gravitate it. I can't get it. I don't understand it.
Their,
I
their compassion compartment is empty. So we gotta try to, with love, fill it up.
Fill
Replenish
it up. Fill it up.
it.
Fill it up. But yeah, but
Yes.
life is good. God is good. It's all good. Last week we had a great week. We talked about Amazon and, the
Woo.
things that's going on with them.
Yes.
I hope everybody at least dove into Amazon. And then when I'm mentioning Amazon, the since then the storms hit over in Kentucky
Yes.
and it hit an Amazon plant or
Yep.
a business, a store,
Facility.
whatever you want,
Yep.
a factory,
Yep.
and it caused a lot of people to lose their life or to be injured. And it's so difficult for me to look and see that there was a boss or somebody telling the people that, or
I
telling an individual,
know
you
that if
can't,
they leave because they heard the sirens and they heard how serious it was, if you leave, you fired. Like,
you're gonna get fired. Where was the
and
compassion for that individual? And then do they now? Did they even survive it? You know what I'm
so
saying?
here's my thing with that too. Like, so when I heard that, it was just really disheartening. First of all, second of all, it's like, are there going to be enough people enough alive to survive what has happened to even be able to speak up and say, like, yeah, that was true. That happened to me too. My boss said that too. Are there going to be enough? Is there going to be enough count for people to even say, hey, yeah, my boss said that, for
Right.
there to be any consequences? Like, it was already enough that a consequence was that this storm was coming. And a lot of times we get desensitized to so many things. Oh, it's just another storm.
Yep.
Oh, it's just another rain shower.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
we can't get to a place where we're so, like you said, compassionless, or we're so caught up on making money and caught up on doing this that, where is that element of compassion at? You rather chance losing your life over making $1? Like,
Yes.
that makes no sense.
And I mean, that was crazy to me to hear. And I'm like you, who
I just
survived?
would have been fired.
Yeah, who survived that? Did the supervisor, the manager, whomever that told that individual that they could not leave and if they left they would get fired, did they survive? Did they,
Exactly.
it's like, who in their right mind doesn't have enough compassion to say, listen, we all need to get out of here. Let's try to see who we can save. Let's round up as many.
Right.
We all need to go.
Right.
I'm like you. He was, whoever it was compassionless, didn't have no. And yes, Tracy, that was horrible. It was horrible.
Selfish.
It's tragic. That's what I'm talking about. When you just have no compassion because you're worried about the almighty dollar, and you just don't give a bull crap.
And we about a person's life. And we all get feels. We all get, what I'm saying, stuff going on, got
Yeah,
families, got children, want to keep a roof over our head. But if you not here, there is no roof to keep.
none.
Like your life is more precious than that. Like,
Crazy.
and now whoever that is, if they are living, they have to live with that the rest of their life. That would, if they are living, that's an example from God to say, hey, don't ever do that. You should
Ever.
never do that. Never ever do that.
I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's like
Now you
that.
got to live with that. The person you done told that to, might not even be here anymore, maybe gone, was trying to save themselves and probably you too. But your
That is true.
selfishness and your lack of
Exactly.
compassion and your lack of thinking of others, your selfishness has now, you know what I'm saying? They're not here anymore. And now
No.
you ain't got no job. Where you gonna punch into?
All because you worrying about money, making the money, making sure that items are still being shipped out, put on the shelf so people can buy them. It doesn't make no sense to me that you could care less about another individual's whole life, not just their life, their family's life, their children's life, even their friends' life.
Even in your own, in
No
your own.
compassion. You
Now,
just
what money are you making now? That's what I want to know.
right. I mean, selfish. Just I'm like you, selfish. You can be when you're selfish, you are compassionless. That's the way I see it. When you're a selfish individual because you don't care about nobody but yourself. And
Yeah,
that's
Tracy. Yeah, they probably did lose their job if they ain't lost their life first, because
exactly
you if you lose your life, you ain't thinking about no job because you ain't here.
that
So
building
yeah,
was flattened. That building, the steel beams, can you know those steel beams were just like that's just not something that could be easily knocked down.
right. You and me can't just push on that and it's just gonna fall. Like no
Exactly. I mean, horrible. You have no care about nobody because you're worrying about the almighty dollar.
dollar
And
and wages.
I
You
know
know,
somebody like that, and it just irks me every time I think about that. Every time I think about the person that I know that's very, very selfish, and the only thing they think about is money.
it's
And I mean,
sickening.
I know this person. It irks me to no end. I mean, it bothers me. What's going on, AJ?
Hey AJ, thanks for tuning in.
I mean, when I say no, seriously, I know somebody, like I really know somebody that is so selfish and self whatever, conceited, all they want. Even said the next time they got married, they was gonna marry for money.
Tracy, you maybe that's correct. That is correct. Because at the end of the day, the big fish ain't worrying about the little fish. And so that's what it
No,
was, a big fish
no,
situation. That you weren't worried about the little fish. But now, you know,
ain't no
you
fish.
as you exactly as you are the big fish, you might not even exist. And then the big fish that was trying to tell the little fish might not even exist. So and
Yeah,
now no building for you to punch into nowhere exists.
nowhere,
So I
nowhere.
mean, what's your point?
Where is the compassion? Where was it? There isn't any.
Mm-mm.
You don't have a care in the world. You care nothing about nobody but yourself.
Mm-mm.
And
Yep,
those are
that's
the kind
it.
of people that irk me. Those are the kind of people that get on my nerves, especially if I know you, that you're very, very selfish. You're very selfish. And I cannot, oh, it irks. It just bothers me. It really makes
It's that selfishness,
me,
that entitlement, and and God is amazing the way He do things. It's just like a person
girl,
who gets in a car accident and he got a car full of people, but everybody else dies and they stay alive. And that
exactly.
torment that that person has to live with the rest of their life, that they're gonna kill everybody in his vehicle. That's
Yep.
what that's like. That's
That's what
exactly
it's
what that's
like.
like.
Yep, that's what it's like. And then the thing about it is, even to have compassion for him, because now he's got to suffer and live through all of that pain. I mean, he's got to live through it. Who's to say that he will even survive mentally or even physically? Because
For
that's
sure.
a big drain and a strain
On
on,
everybody.
you know?
On those that he may have told that they was getting fired,
Exactly.
and now since you wanted to lay the hammer down, now the hammer's down on you. You in the position that you didn't ever think you was in. Like we can't never get so high and mighty
Right.
and think that nothing negative or nothing bad can happen, especially if you speaking something negative and bad on someone else. Like, mm-mm.
Exactly. I mean, and then that's not a good picture. That's not a good sign. That's
It's
not.
not a good place to be.
It's just not. It's not. I mean, and who would even want to be there? How can you not have compassion? I just don't see it. I mean, it's like the storm is coming. First of all, and it's hard. It's very hard. I grew up in the storms. I grew up in the tornadoes.
Right.
The remnants of the hurricanes were major. So how can you not look out for your people if you know
Yep.
that it's coming?
You're
Uh,
right, Tracy.
yep, those are dependent people that step on people
To
to
get to
get
the top.
to the top. But not only that, and the unfortunate piece about when you are even not even getting to the top, you just stepping on people to get
And
what you want.
then after you done stepped on so many people, once you done got up there, then the whole thing collapsed. Because you go fall too.
It ain't, I mean, it's just like I'm stepping on you to get what I want. But what is it that I
Is
want
it but me stepping
that
on
I
you,
don't
is it
want you
worth
to have?
exactly, but is it worth your if is it worth someone's life?
That's what I'm saying. It ain't worth none of that.
Mm-mm.
It's not even worth hurting someone to get what you want or to get where you're trying to
What
get.
you yeah, what you think you want, what you think you should have.
And you're right, Tracy. They say
It's
it's
lonely at the top.
real lonely at the top. And it's
Yeah.
lonely at the bottom too, because
Because guess what? The
nobody
top
down there
is
with
really the bottom. You know what I mean? What the words say. The first should be last and the last should be first.
you. And then what they say, from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. It all equals out, pans out. It is what it is, and that's how it works. But
Yeah.
you step on somebody else to get what you want is, to me, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
What up, Nefru?
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
What's going on?
Hey, that's for sure. He said some people you see climbing the ladder of success be the same people you see coming right on back down. And a lot of times when they coming down that ladder, it ain't in the right direction.
And sometimes they miss a step while they coming down, and they miss
And
them
that's a hard fall.
when they going up, because the steps that you miss going down and coming up are the very ones that you needed, the very ones that you didn't have compassion for, the very ones that you were stepping on to get there. So
Yes.
be careful. Be extremely careful,
Yes,
because
yes.
everything can come back on you. God don't like ugly. We already
Mm-mm.
know that. He ain't crazy about pretty either. But be careful when you don't have no compassion. I mean, just absolutely none. And stop being selfish, because selfishness,
Listen,
I believe,
okay?
brings about not having compassion.
Selfishness, self-centeredness, like it gets you nowhere but being again by yourself. Okay? And on that note,
And on that note, I'm up here drinking my kombucha. Good people, I'm drinking kombucha. I'm always trying to make sure I stay healthy, and 'tis the season to
that's
be
right.
right now. Shabar,
I know that's right. Exactly. I treat the intern the same way I treat the CEO because at the end of the day, they put their pants leg on one at a time like I do.
exactly. And everybody, and believe it or not, everybody got to squat at some point to sit on the toilet to use it. I'm just saying, we all got to sit on the toilet at some point to use it. So we all pretty much do the same thing, is what I'm
Yep,
trying to say, people. I'm
for
using an
sure.
analogy. We
For
all pretty
sure.
much do the same thing. So why is it that you would not have compassion for the person at the bottom, but you got it for the one at the top? Because you're trying to get what you want.
Yeah.
Your little selfish ways. Your little
It never works.
selfishness.
It
Look,
never works out.
make me want to, make my lip go up.
It's never worth it. It is never worth it.
You lose more than you gain
Yes,
by not having compassion and being selfish.
for
That's
sure.
why I don't like being around people that are selfish and with no compassion. I mean, negativity is just something that I just don't want to tolerate, because I don't have to. You don't have to.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
If I don't talk to you a lot or much, and it might be a reason.
I'm gonna drop my nuggets and I'm gonna let God water it, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
And that's it.
About it.
That's all you can do.
That's about it.
Put a little sunshine on it and call it a day. I mean, that's all you can do, but the love that we have for each other and for other people is what's going to help us move forward in life.
That's right, because we all need each other. That's for sure.
We all need each other. At the end of the day, we all need each other. Got to have each other. That's why I love my friends. I love my friends so dearly. And I fall short. We all fall short on a daily basis.
We're not perfect. We just human. That's all.
We just human. We ain't perfect. By any.
Hey, look at you, Tracy. All right, give it up for T.
See what I'm saying? Right, don't you feel better now? Don't you feel better that you wearing them socks?
She just showing out. She done took her homework to a whole nother week. That's what's up, Tracy. Yes. Come through with the socks.
The socks. That's how you breaking that tradition.
Yes.
Different. Even with that compassion that you got for somebody else, come out of those traditional ways and do something. Do something. Let that compassion be do something.
She doing it. She doing it.
She doing it. She wearing socks. Y'all had to go back 2 weeks ago and hear about the socks.
Yeah. Y'all late. She covered up her dog. She covered up her feet. Yeah. We good to go. We good to go. That's what's up.
Yeah. Her dog got
a sweatshirt on.
After he done came out the shower and everything, he all got his little house coat on. Ready, he done been to the spa and everything. Now she wearing socks. Boy,
right. You know what I'm saying? One God is amazing. He will do it. You know what I mean? He'll speak to people all the time when you least expect it. Okay. So it's Tug Radio. We so excited that you guys tuned in. We feel all warm and good inside. Definitely check out the Tuck Radio page. We always post stuff that we have going on, upcoming events. We may just pop up somewhere. You just gotta stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
You already know.
And we appreciate you guys globally for tuning in, but we're at the time of the show where we give our positive quote. So
yes.
As you guys always know, I go first. Because we say the best for last. So
we equal up in here, baby. We equal up in here.
Oh Lord. So my positive quote is do your best and let God handle the rest.
There it is. Y'all heard that. And y'all know me. But you know what? 'Tis the season. Do what you can for somebody. Have compassion for other people. Show them. Don't just have it. Show them the compassion that you have in your heart. You just never know what they would do for somebody during this time of year, during this season. From November 1st all the way to January 1st is not a good time for me. These are just some rough days for me. These were my mother's best. My mother enjoyed Thanksgiving and Christmas. These were her days. These was her holidays. So it's very difficult for me to be without my mom during this time, but I still carry that compassion in my heart for other people. So we want you to carry that compassion for someone else. It's so keep it near, close to your heart so you can help somebody else. Don't be selfish. On that note, y'all know me. It's always better to give than it is to receive. And we'll see you next week. Tune in next week because we got some funny stuff coming to you next week. We're going to make you laugh from here on out.
That's right.
We got 1 or 2 more weeks on here until the year's out. So
that's right.
Next week. So tune in. Wednesday. Tune in. Wind Down Wednesday. We love y'all. See you later.